Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you at the end of the week and on the day that Euro 2020 in 2021 gets underway. Lots of exciting football hopefully over the next few weeks. Wherever you're watching around the world, wherever you're watching around Europe, good luck to your countries. Obviously I'm going to be cheering on England and Bukayo Saka. I'm going to wait till Sunday for that one. Looking forward to the sunshine and some beers, watching that down the pub with some mates, as I'm sure plenty of you are. Just drew Scotland in the sweep state for Euro 2021. Nightmare, been stitched up royally by work. So I think that's £3 down the drain anyway. Anyway, let's talk about Arsenal, because let's face it, that's what you're here to watch this video for. Lots of sort of speculation, rumours down rounds at the moment in terms of possible transfer targets, that sort of thing. Nothing really concrete at the moment in terms of what's happening. We'll start with Granit Xhaka. That's certainly the deal that seems like it's the closest to potentially being done in terms of incomings or outgoings. We've known for a while now that he has been in talks with Roma. Arsenal and Roma are in talks about getting this deal done. As far as I'm aware, still hasn't been a fee agreed between the two clubs. Still, Xhaka was very, very keen to get this transfer sorted before the Euros got underway. It's looking unlikely now, considering this is Friday, but you never know, something might be sorted today. By the time you're watching this video, something might be sorted and confirmation might have arrived that the two clubs have sorted a fee. It's not going to be much of an issue when it comes to Xhaka and Roma. I think that's already way down the line. This has been rumbling on for a while now, and the talks are amicable between all three parties, so Arsenal won't be sort of standing in Xhaka's way in terms of his reps talking to Roma and getting their contract sorted. Indeed, Chris Wheatley over at Football London reporting yesterday that a 5-year contract has been agreed between Xhaka and Roma, and it's just down to the fee being agreed. Like I said, I haven't heard that has happened yet. We know that Roma were quite keen on around 15 million. Arsenal were very keen on the sort of 20 million. It seems like compromise might well be met, but nothing has happened yet in terms of getting that deal done. Once that fee is agreed, you expect it's going to go through relatively quickly, and Xhaka will be a Roma player, but we're still waiting on the confirmation of that one. As I've said in previous videos, Ruben Neves is one of the targets Arsenal are looking at as a possible replacement for Granit Xhaka. As far as I'm aware, nothing's really moved forward with that one. Talks, as I've said, have been held with Wolves about Neves. Wolves are open to him leaving, but they have a very high valuation, around £35 million for Ruben Neves. As far as I'm aware, nothing's really progressed with that yet. I feel like Arsenal are trying to get the Xhaka deal done before they really sort of make their move to bring in a replacement. And as I said before, it's not just Neves. There'll be plenty of other players that they are looking at. He's just one of the options, and they have held discussions with Wolves about it. But in terms of fee being agreed or even near to being agreed, I haven't heard anything like that has happened. So that's one that's going to rumble on. But as I said, I think you kind of got to get the Xhaka deal done first before you really move on. That's the one that everyone's working on getting completed as quickly as possible. And as I said previously, Xhaka wanted to get it done by today, but looking a little bit unlikely now. And I think Switzerland's first game is, I feel like it might be Monday, Switzerland's first game in the Euros. So still a little bit of time if he wants to get it done before he plays the first game. But you're right in preparation mode if you're Xhaka now. You're in the Switzerland camp. Everyone's focused on that first game. You know, whether he would be able to even get out and do a medical, or he could do the medical with the Swiss. I don't know how that would work. It might be that the deal's agreed and then he does the medical after the Euros. Now we'll have to wait and see how it all progresses. But certainly that's the one to keep an eye on in terms of possibly a deal being done relatively quickly for that. And in terms of incomings, it's all pretty quiet at the moment. I know that's probably frustrating. Well, I know it's frustrating for a lot of you because I see all your questions and comments to me and on social media, and the way you're talking about it. You wanted Arsenal to really act quickly in this transfer market. It's not really happened. Although you do have to admit, you have to suggest, I mean, it's only been open officially for a couple of days. Yes, people have been getting deals sort of lined up before that, but the actual transfer window's only been open for a couple of days, and it is always slow. I think everyone always thinks, oh, let's go smash it early, get the players in, but it just never really works like that. Even with your best intentions, it just doesn't really happen. There's so much to sort out. You've got to work out everything with your squad. You've got to get the things signed off with managers. Targets are potentially away on holiday at the moment. Sporting directors are away on holiday. We know Edu's in Portugal at the moment. He's been away. He's had his daughter's birthday over there. That's not to say he's not been working or anything like that, but He has been over there. I'm not sure if he's back yet. I presume he has to quarantine if he's back as well. So there are issues there, although everything's done pretty much over Zoom and WhatsApp nowadays anyway, especially during the pandemic era. So that doesn't really affect in terms of getting deals done. But it's very difficult to get things done early in the window. It just rarely happens. And Mikel said it himself before the end of last season when he was asked a direct question, would you like it? He said yes, but let's face it, it's not going to happen. He knows it's not going to happen. We always get it. It's always a quiet period, and then it starts to really spiral as we get towards the end of the transfer window. And I suggest, despite everyone's best intentions, that that's probably what is going to happen again. I gave the update yesterday on the previous video. Please go and watch it on Andre Onana. If you haven't seen it yet, yes, his ban was overturned. Well, not fully overturned, but it was reduced yesterday by the Court of Arbitration from Sport from 12 months to 3 months. That means he's available to play again from November the 3rd. He's available to train again from September the 3rd. Now, as far as I'm aware, speaking to people close to Onana, that he is very much looking to leave now this summer, and Ajax are very much looking to get that deal done with someone. Arsenal are interested in Onana. We've reported that interest before, and now it's just a case of do you make the decision to go for him, even though you're not going to be able to play him until November, and even though he's not going to be able to train with you until September. It's a big call, but you've got a very good goalkeeper available for a very, very good price now. A player that Arsenal have tracked for a long time. They nearly signed him in January, opted against it because of financial issues, got Matt Ryan in on loan again. But a lot of it's going to depend on what happens with Bernd Leno as well. So it's a really tricky situation, but I covered it all in yesterday's video. So if you haven't seen it yet, please do, after you've watched this one, have a look and click on that, because I talk about the whole goalkeeping situation at Arsenal and the possibility of Andre Onana coming in this summer. Right, I just wanted to go through some of the other stories that are doing the rounds at the moment. There's a few more names in the frame. If you haven't seen it yet, head over to James McNicholas, aka you'll know him as Gunner Blog, on his social media. Did a very good, extensive transfer roundup yesterday on Arsenal with The Athletic. If you haven't read it yet, please do go over there and have a look at it. It's very extensive as always with James. A few names he mentioned in there that, especially one I wanted to talk about, Tyler Adams. Now, I don't know, I haven't heard anything myself on this, but James is excellent on what he does, and there'll no doubt be very, he's got strong information. And it's an interesting target, Tyler Adams, right back at RB Leipzig, can play midfield as well. The people in Germany, another very big Arsenal social media user, Lewis Ambrose, who's very excellent when it comes to all things Bundesliga. He was talking about it yesterday about Tyler Adams and said he prefers to play in a sort of DM role rather than right back, but he can play in both. And interesting player, I think, because Arsenal, we know, are looking for a right back. The Hector Bellerin situation needs to be resolved. Arsenal looking to get Hector out. Hector's currently looking for a club. Nothing concrete in terms of where he could be going yet, but Arsenal's certainly on the lookout for a replacement for Hector. And when you look at Tyler Adams and what he's strong at, and you look at the way Mikel Arteta likes to play, almost with sort of one fullback bombing down, which would be Tierney, and then someone else dropping in and kind of making a three at the back when you're out of possession. And someone like Tyler Adams, who can play right back, but can play defensive midfield, again, similar to what Granit Xhaka can do when he drops in at left back at times for Arsenal. It kind of feels like that really suits Mikel and the way he wants his team to play. So it could be a really interesting option if Arsenal can get something done for Tyler Adams. It sounds like it could be difficult in terms of getting him out of Leipzig. Leipzig losing a lot of players this summer, probably not too keen on losing him as well. So would take a very decent offer. Would Arsenal want to pay that sort of money? We'll have to wait and see, but it's an interesting name. And as I said, please do head over to James's social media and find the story he posted yesterday about that. There's potential transfer targets that Arsenal are looking at in the summer. It's a very interesting read. One name he mentions in that, James, and it has been linked with the club obviously fairly recently, is Albert Lokonga over at Anderlecht, player that Thierry Henry, it was quite big headlines a couple of weeks ago that Thierry Henry had recommended him to Arsenal. Henry obviously knows him from the Belgium camp, although he's not made it into the senior squad for the Euros this summer. He's on the reserve list, but 21-year-old Anderlecht midfielder looks like a real talent. He's again been linked to Arsenal at the moment. I think it's going to be about sort of 17 million. And when you look at him, I don't really see him as a direct Xhaka replacement. He's almost kind of fits like if you're going to sort of double up in midfield. I've said it before. I feel like Arsenal need to sign more than one midfielder this summer. I think given the players who are going to be going, when you look at Guendouzi, Torreira, who you suggested definitely going to go, you'd be surprised if both of those stay. Ainsley, Maitland-Niles as well. You've got Mohamed El Neni and Thomas Partey, who could potentially go to will go, barring injury, will go to the African Cup of Nations halfway through the season. You're losing Granit Xhaka. You know, you feel like one central midfielder isn't going to be enough this summer, even if you're going to give Joe Willock more of a chance. I mean, he's going to play more as an attacking midfielder. And so you feel like, one midfielder's not going to be enough. You've got to potentially go for two. So I don't think it's a case of just going to be Neves or someone coming in as a direct replacement for Xhaka. I think you've got to look at other midfield options as well. So you could potentially look at Lokonga more as the guy sort of filling in with Thomas Partey as well at times, or mixing and matching the two of them, rotation, that sort of thing. 17 million, decent price. I mean, you know, that's the reported price that it might take to get him out of Anderlecht. I don't know if that's correct or not. But it's certainly an exciting option. He's young. He kind of fits the bill of the sort of player Arsenal are looking at that you can build towards the future for as well. Looks a real talent. Interesting if Henry has recommended him to Arsenal. I don't quite know who to recommend him to. I can't imagine he's going to pick up the phone to Josh Kroenke or someone like that at the moment, considering he's back in Daniel X takeover. So maybe he's got direct. Maybe he just rings Mikel or Edu direct. Obviously, you presume he knows Edu pretty well from his playing days back at Arsenal. So maybe that's the guy he's been speaking to. So interesting one to keep an eye on if Arsenal do push forward and look at someone like Lokonga. Bissouma as well, interesting. Leicester City, who are doing some good smart business, always do. Leicester City are being linked with Bissouma as well, a player that all Arsenal fans seem to want. I think pretty much every single tweet I put out at the moment has at least one reply saying, "Where's Bissouma? Are we signing Bissouma?" I've nothing really to add to that on me. He's just a player that Arsenal have looked at. Is on the potential midfield list this summer, but on the list of an awful lot of other clubs as well, and Leicester City being reported holding a strong interest in Yves Bissouma. If Wilfred Ndidi is allowed to go, now there's a midfielder I'd love to see Arsenal target. Not going to happen, I imagine, just because of money. I think you're possibly looking at, I don't know, someone like Liverpool if they would move, having lost Wijnaldum. Would you go for an Ndidi? I think he's a fantastic player, Wilfred Ndidi. Really is smart business again from Leicester. They really are dialed in when it comes to recruitment. And if they were to lose him, you think Yves Bissouma would be a fantastic replacement for them. And it's just another example. If Arsenal are going to step up their interest in Yves Bissouma, they need to do it quickly because other clubs will be circling and will be testing the waters, you would imagine, this summer when it comes to Brighton and getting him out of there. 35 million, those reports were that Brighton could be looking at to get Bissouma out. For me, I think with a lot of modern prices being linked, thrown around, I think that's a relatively good deal for me on that one. I think Leicester are going to be great next season. I think they're going to have a really, really good team. They've also been linked with someone like Nkunku, who I really like, and Arsenal were close to signing a couple of years ago when Emery was here, didn't get it done. When he was at PSG, he's gone over to Germany, been very, very good, and Leicester now being linked with an interest in him. And I just think, if you want to look at a club being very, very smart in the transfer market over recent years, there's no one more so than Leicester City, who certainly do things right way, and Arsenal could do well to take out a leaf out of their book when it comes to getting things done in the transfer market and working smartly. So in terms of transfers, that's about it. It's all a lot of speculation and rumours at the moment. I haven't really got too much else concrete to add to it. It's just all a little bit quiet at the moment, waiting for things to really kick into gear. I do wonder if the Xhaka deal, when that does get done, will sort of spark Arsenal into life when it comes to incomings. At the moment, it feels like they're kind of waiting, and all the focus is on getting Xhaka out, and then they can really look on bringing in a potential replacement and shaking things up in the midfield. And there's plenty more to do. I've talked about the goalkeepers already. And there's other areas of the pitch, the fullbacks, that Arsenal really need to get working on. So Edu, wherever he is, even if he is holed up back here in quarantine, he needs to make sure that phone is fully charged and needs to get cracking, because time waits for no man, as they say, and Arsenal have got an awful lot of work to do this summer. But at least we have the Euros now to take our attention away from just non-stop transfer talk, because I know a lot of you love it, but Oh, because it is all-consuming at times, and at least we got some really quality football to watch tonight. I'm very much looking forward to Turkey versus Italy. Turkey, my surprise pick for the Euros. Think they're going to be a very, very strong team. Banging form, excellent defence. I think they're going to cause Italy a lot of problems tonight. And Italy coming into this one, many people's picks to win the tournament, given their fantastic form over the recent couple of years. So sit back wherever you're watching tonight. Enjoy the football. We've got plenty of it to come over the next 3 weeks. I will keep on top of it. Not that much Arsenal interest. Even Granit Xhaka potentially leaving. That will take Arsenal's numbers down to 3 in the Euros. 2 of those not really expected to play too much in Saka or Bernd Leno, but you never know with Saka. The season he's had, he might force his way into Southgate's starting 11 or in and around it anyway. Kieran Tierney to come with Scotland, of course, he certainly will be starting. So I'll be keeping a close eye on how all those guys get on. Until then, everyone, thank you very much. I will look to bring you all the information I can. Please do keep checking my social media accounts on that. You can find me on Twitter at Charles_Watts for all the information as it happens during the transfer window. Have a good day, everyone. I'll speak to you soon.